This week's edition of NJBIA's Minding Your Business is brought to you in part by AT&T, helping family, friends, and neighbors connect in meaningful ways every day. From the first phone call 140 years ago to mobile video streaming today, AT&T innovates to improve lives. And by New Jersey Business Magazine, providing the critical information needs for New Jersey's business community for more than 65 years.
Welcome to NJBIA's Minding Your Business. I'm your host, Bob Considine. Well, PSE&G is the largest provider of gas and electric service in the state of New Jersey. And with that responsibility includes providing clean energy solutions for their customers. We're talking about things like energy efficiency, EVs, and smart meters. So here to discuss their very effective Clean Energy Future program at PSE&G is Vice President of Renewables and Energy Solutions, Karen Reif. Karen, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Karen, the last time we saw Karen, it was PSE&G had won a New Good Neighbor Award, and we were there at the Highland Park Solar Storage Facility, which was great. We'll have less wind here today than we did on that day.
Yes, it was a very windy day.
All right, so thank you, Karen, for being here. Tell us about these programs, how they can benefit both businesses and communities.
Sure. So these programs expand on PSE&G's Powering Progress vision to help our customers, both business and residential, all kinds, use less energy, ensure the energy that they're using is cleaner, and to deliver the energy more reliably.
Right, very good. Let's speak specifically about the business community. You have a business audience here. How can these programs benefit them?
Sure. We have programs for every type of business, whether you're a large business, whether you're a small business. Mm-hmm. We have some programs that you can just buy things from your distributors. We have other programs that have a lot of consulting and customized services. Right. All the programs provide some sort of on-bill repayment over 5 years.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Makes things more flexible for them.
Exactly, and it's at zero interest. So it's really, you're paying for the energy efficiency measures you're implementing as you're saving the electricity or gas. That
are we talking about things like lighting?
Yes.
Okay, and for larger business, what kind of sectors are we talking about?
So we're talking about lighting, heating, cooling, anything that uses electricity or gas.
Okay. How about for smaller businesses? What do we have there for?
For smaller businesses, we have a customized program, which we call the Direct Install program, where we have people visit the site and do a consulting service to tell you what kind of heating, cooling, and lighting would help your business save energy.
Great. How much of that is either large or small businesses, them coming to you with, we purposely want to improve our situation here, versus, awareness that they, the awareness that they need to do something.
So we have a little bit of both. We're expanding our programs tremendously. In the past, we had programs that were very limited and we had significant wait lists. With this last approval, we have a much larger amount. We still are starting to get wait lists in some segments, but we have a little bit of both. We also have some customers that have done some parts of their business and then are expanding to do other parts because they realize how great this program is and how nice, and how important it is to be energy conscious.
Right, and it's not one size fits all. Pretty much everybody has their own unique situation.
Exactly, and a small business has a very different need than a large business or an industrial manufacturer.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's smaller. I'm thinking a smaller business probably is an easier job, maybe.
It's a much faster job typically. So with the smaller businesses, it's typically lighting, to replace the lighting, upgrade the lighting to energy efficient lighting, as well as some heating and cooling upgrades. And then for those businesses, again, we're providing 5-year interest-free financing.
That's great. That's really great. How about in terms of the reaction people, whether they're small business, large business, the reaction of, wow, I couldn't believe we could get so much done, I guess, in a relatively short amount of time.
So for the smaller businesses, it's really in and out, rather, 6 to 12 weeks, depending on product lead times. For the larger businesses, like hospitals, universities, those could be 2 or 3 year projects.
Right.
They're very custom, larger industrial orders that need significant audits and engineering.
Yeah, we discussed earlier the lighting is different in, say, a hospital versus the bakery down the street.
Exactly, and certainly much more so for the heating and cooling systems.
Right. Manufacturing too, you mentioned?
Yeah, so for manufacturing, not only do we provide those things I just mentioned, but we also provide a custom service where we talk to them about how their business processes use energy, and provide them some consulting on how they can maximize their business process to use less energy.
Okay, very good. How about in terms of what PSE&G is offering in terms of energy efficiency solutions for residents?
Yeah, before we get to residents, I do want to mention that we have been providing these services both to residents and to business customers for quite some time.
Okay.
We have saved customers over $350 million over the last 10 years and won 15 awards for what we've done.
And one of them might have been NJBIA's New Good Neighbor Award in 2020. Help me with that, Vin. Yeah, great. I mean, these are great programs, and they should be awarded. They're awesome.
Yeah, they're great programs. It's great for the environment. It's great for the customer.
Right.
It's great for the company. For residential customers, just like we have multiple offerings for business customers, we have multiple offerings for residential customers. We really want to be where the customer wants to do business. So we have everything from point of purchase sales at over 250 stores in our service territory, where literally you just get the rebate and you install it yourself or you order it yourself, whether it's an appliance or lighting, all the way to we have people who can come into someone's home and give them an assessment. We also have very specific programs targeted at multifamily residents, so people who live in a building and don't necessarily own their residence, as well as low and moderate income.
How about thermostats? Is that a big demand?
It is. We also have an online marketplace where we sell items that can be easily shipped.
Right.
And on that online marketplace, we've sold over 185,000 thermostats.
Wow.
Wow. I know, it's a lot of thermostats. They're smart thermostats. They learn your behavior and help you save, the data shows that it helps save electricity and gas. In addition, on the online marketplace, we also provide lighting, power strips, and some other items to help save energy in your home.
That's great investments by PSE&G. And I assume the thermostats are kind of the latest technology, right? I mean,
they are.
It's not the I'm going to move this.
No, everything is on your smartphone, so you can make sure that, for example, when you're not home, you set the electricity or gas at the right place, and that when you're coming home, you can reset it appropriately.
Okay. What kind of energy efficiency projects is PSE&G now developing?
So we're developing a ton with residential customers, right? So we have a lot of residential. We just recently expanded these programs in July, so they're just rolling out. Yeah. But we are seeing a lot of uptick and a lot of customer interest.
That's great.
We have a lot of in-home audits that are occurring. And then for the larger customers, we're serving most of the hospitals in our service territory, most of the universities in our service territory, as well as a tremendous number of very large multifamily businesses and a lot of small businesses, which that was the direct install program I explained. Right. It's kind of like if you think about when you're walking on Main Street and all those smaller businesses who, their core competency is making pizza and selling pizza or doing nails or whatever it is on that Main Street. And we want to come in and help them save money and be more energy efficient.
Very good. How about in terms of, I'll ask again, but what's coming up from PSE&G in terms?
So we're just rolling out as we speak. Thank you. Our electric vehicle program.
Right.
So in New Jersey, we have low penetration of publicly available electric vehicle charging, which studies have shown that if people aren't comfortable that they can charge while they're out, their propensity to buy an electric vehicle is much lower.
Yeah.
Something called range anxiety. Yeah.
That's what I used to worry about my basketball shot. It was range anxiety. Now it's getting from place to place in an electric
Exactly.
vehicle.
So we have a program to help rebate the make ready. So the getting your home or your business ready to plug in the charger. So we call it the make ready.
Right.
And we have 3 programs that we've recently rolled out. One is for residential homes. One is publicly available charging in communities. So think a shopping mall, a gas station, a supermarket. And then the last one is publicly available fast charging on travel corridors.
Wow. That's amazing. I mean, we always hear at NJBIA, I really want to get an electric vehicle, but I'm concerned about the range anxiety. Will I get from place point A to point B? So these could really be game changers, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We think that these will be a great addition to New Jersey.
What about energy storage? You know, like I mentioned at the outset, we saw each other at the Highland Park solar storage system, right? Great system. What else are you guys doing?
So right now we have a proposal in front of the BPU to do utility grade energy storage along our sites, which includes more solar storage. We see that as something in the future that's going to be very valuable. You can't store electricity. This is a way that you can store moderate amounts of electricity. So we think that will be a really great opportunity moving forward.
Right. And also, I know you guys are big on advanced metering, the smart meters, correct?
Correct. We've also gotten approval to roll out advanced metering infrastructure, which is smart metering. Today we have dumb meters or just static, static meters. So what that means to you is we'll know ahead when people are out. We have to rely on our customers to call in and to let us know they're out. And that's why whenever there's large storms and you hear us say, please call in your outage, we have algorithms in our outage management system which map that. Moving forward, we'll be able to know that. It'll save truck rolls and it will improve reliability.
That's a big deal. Reliability is a big deal for you.
Yes.
And you mentioned saving truck rolls. Now your employees are not necessarily driving to go read a meter, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's great.
Correct.
Well, Karen, these are huge investments by PSE&G for the state of New Jersey. Really great stuff. And we appreciate PSE&G being members of ours. It's great. Where can people find more information?
Sure. The best way to find more information is on our website. And then we're flashing the website.
Right here. Right here.
As well.
All right, Karen Reif, great to see you again, and thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
All right, and we'll be back right after these words.
Okay, at AT&T, everyone gets our best deals on all smartphones.
Let me break it down. You got your new customers.
They get our best deals.
You got your existing customers.
They also get our best deals. Everyone gets the deals.
Questions.
Got it. But why did you use a permanent marker?
Because I want to make sure you remember.
I'm gonna get a new whiteboard.
It's not complicated. Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on every smartphone, like the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free.
Welcome back to NJBIA's Minding Your Business. I'm Bob Considine. Well, NJBIA recently held its 7th annual Women Business Leaders Forum. And today we're going to bring you just a few highlights from that outstanding 3-day event. We'll start you up with keynote speaker Kerry Barrett, who discussed with the crowd putting your best public face forward. Have a look.
Back in 2016, the National Academy of Sciences conducted a study on the best predictor of the death toll in a hurricane. I know this sounds a little bit morbid, and it is, but maybe not entirely for the reasons that you might think. Do you know what they found? Is anybody familiar with this study? Have you heard it? Okay. What they found was that to some degree, the strength or the size of the hurricane had absolutely nothing to do with the death toll. Do you know what was the best predictor of the death toll? It was the name of the hurricane. Hurricanes that had female gendered names, a Hurricane Danielle versus a Hurricane Daniel, had the highest death toll. And the reason was people did not heed the evacuation warnings of hurricanes with female gendered names. They didn't take them as seriously. True. Look it up. 2016, we have made some progress. That was 5 years ago. We have made some progress since then, but nevertheless, that statistic, ever since I learned of it, has stuck with me because we all deal with it, right? Right? We battle for equal rights, and we battle for equal pay, and we battle for having our voices heard. And to some degree, the deck is sort of like stacked against us. I'm not even saying it's intentional. It's just sort of how it is right now. So for 20 years in the news industry, that was my blatant reality, right? Not all doom and gloom. There were plenty of bright spots along the way. There were a lot of great women, a lot of great men, a lot of people who I considered my mentors, a lot of people who guided me in my career, a lot of people who provided me with great advice and a great sounding board. But when I started, which was back in 2000, the year, female leadership was almost unheard of. It was bizarre, right? It was not the norm at all. The female anchor was never the main anchor. She was always the co-anchor. Sexual harassment was rampant. I won't even say that it was a secret. I know that most of you, if not all of you, have heard the stories. It was not a secret. It was just sort of how things were done. That was one of the reasons that I got my master's degree. I knew how fickle the industry was, especially for female talent. There is not a shelf life for men. There just isn't, right? I would be hard-pressed to name a single woman in the news industry over the age of 45 who has not had a lot of work done because that's, and myself included, a lot. Some Botox, I'm a big fan of. But that's just how it is. Women have a shelf life. We're valued overall for different things. It's sort of how it is right now. And we're changing. It won't always be that way. But we're the warriors, right? I see my daughter who's 10, and I put makeup on to go on a Zoom call, and she says to me, "Mom, why do you put makeup on? Like, you look beautiful the way you are. I don't like when you put makeup on. You don't need the eyelashes, and you don't need the lipstick, and I don't like when you kiss me and makeup guts on my face." And what do I say to her? Like, she goes into the aisle, into Target, and there's nothing against Target, big fan, but there's 4 aisles of products that tell her she's not good enough the way that she is. Your lips should be fuller, your hair should be shinier, it should also be a different color, your nails should be longer, and you should have whiter teeth, and here's a diet aid, and here's some mascara that you need. And it's a whole environment and messaging that we send, not just to women our age, who should have the knowledge and the wherewithal to battle it, but heck, I'm as likely as the next person to succumb to the messaging. And my daughter is too, right? So in the news industry, you might imagine that that's like to the nth degree, right? Show more skin. That's an actual quote from one of our stylists. Show more skin. You need to show more skin. Women need to show skin to be considered warm. Don't show that much skin. You've had a baby. Your arms are not in great shape. Your hair should be lighter. Your hair should be darker, maybe longer, maybe shorter. You need to wear brighter clothes. That's too bright. Wear darker clothes. That's too dark. Don't smile as much. This is the evening news. Smile more. This is the morning news. Like, you just couldn't win. Hey, our viewers are telling us that you shouldn't wear glasses because they think we're trying to make you look smart. Like, why say that? I just had eye surgery. There's nothing I could do about it. Are you saying that to mess with my head? Because I think you are. How do you get around that, though? Hey, and by the way, we're back in 3, 2, 1. So those sorts of critiques were never leveled at my male co-anchors. They just weren't, right? I did a social experiment with one of my co-anchors, and he wore the same suit for a year, Monday through Friday. Changed the tie and the shirt, right? But not a single person called him out on it. Not one, right? Me, I wore the same dress in the span of 4 months, and holy cow, Kerry, you just wore that dress 16 weeks ago. Why are you wearing it again? It's a different demand. It's a different expectation. The moment that stands out to me, and I feel bad. I didn't realize there'd be this many men in the audience. I love that you're here, okay? I'm fully supportive of it. I don't want to bash you. But the moment that stands out to me, and this was in a big market, and I had just come back from maternity leave, and I was on the anchor desk, and I was reaching across the desk to get the paper scripts. They give you scripts, you have the stuff on a teleprompter, but you reach across the desk and they're handing you the paper in case the teleprompter goes down. And my co-anchor, can you see me? Okay. My co-anchor reached over to me and he grabbed the back of my arm and he goes, wiggle, 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 jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. How's the diet going for you? I guess not so good, huh? Meanwhile, his buttons are screaming for mercy. Help me, I can't hold on much longer. And then we're back from commercial. 3, 2, 1, you're on. And it's compartmentalizing it. It's putting it aside. It's understanding that you have to go on. My experiences were not unique. It's not unique to me. It's pretty standard, right? It was back then anyway. Back in 2010 or so, right? And to be honest, this industry is not the only one that deals with this. There's a lot of industries that are dominated by people who do not look like the majority of the people in this room. And we, as men and women, we're all here, and to some degree, that showcases that we have some privilege. We do have some power. There are millions of women who do not have that voice. They do not have that power. So we not only have the privilege, but we have the responsibility of speaking up for them as well, right? I know that I could have quit my job in the news business a long time ago, and I would have still been able to put food on the table, and I would have still been able to show my face, and there was no shame in any of it. I may have felt it, but there really wasn't. My point is there are so many women who are not in that space. And so all of us have the responsibility as warriors, to some degree. We don't feel like it every day, but as warriors, to be that, to speak up for the women who don't have financial means or the network or the education, right?
All right, thank you, Kerry Barrett. And next up from NJBIA's Women Business Leaders Forum, a breakout session called Balancing Working from Home and Your Mental Health. Have a look and a listen.
At the very beginning of the pandemic, I joke and I say that I was a zombie. I didn't get up. It was back-to-back meetings, and that was not healthy. And one of the things that I've incorporated is walking, making sure that I am actually hitting all these trails that are out there that I didn't even know were in our local town. And at the same time, I'm enjoying time with my family, my children, reestablishing our relationship, and just enjoying what's out there already for us. So walking, getting away from the computer, setting definitely time for me first and time for my family. So I've been incorporating that a whole lot more.
And to be like in the kind of early 2020 of the pandemic, I was noticing I was getting so much back pain, my legs, I was having this like tension in my legs or this throbbing in my legs. And I definitely had to start walking just to make sure that I could balance all of that. So walking is great. And I love that also because it's free, right? So it's not, we don't have to pay for it. We don't have to sign up for it. And it's something you can do quick, right? So I'll have meetings and then I'll just pop out quick for a quick walk around my block, right? So nobody has to know, or I'll even do meetings while I'm walking, right? I'll just have my headset in and I'll walk around too. So Any other tips or tricks anyone has done in addition to walking to help themselves?
For me, I would say get a new hobby, right? Try something different, because your mind is so cluttered with the news or whatever you choose to watch every single day, that get a new hobby. And I shared it before that I just started learning how to play chess, and I've always wanted to learn how to play chess. And trust me when I say this, I'm terrible at it, but I'm very curious about getting better and what I need to do to get better. So just implementing that into my life, it took my mind away off of all the white noise and all the craziness that's going on outside of the house. So I would just say get a new hobby, figure out something else. If you want to learn guitar, go pick up a guitar and try to learn guitar. If you want to learn Spanish, acquire a new skill while you're at home.
I came across someone who shared a quote with me during this time that really helped me to sort of step back. And it said, it's not about perfection, it's about grace. And that really gave me reason to pause and reevaluate and maybe even reprioritize. And I think it's something that we still need to continue to do, because even now, I mean, a year ago, a year plus ago, when this had all started, there was no precedence in place in terms of how long is this going to last? When are we all going to get back to the office, or when are we going to go on vacation again? We didn't know. And I think that unknowing part really made it very, very uncomfortable. And I think that was the other piece, learning to become a little more comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Last up from NJBIA's Women Business Leaders Forum, a few minutes from a breakout session called COVID and Your Career Path. Have a look.
Definitely when I'm working with my clients, it's a big question today. And depending on the challenge that you're being faced with, whether you're a mom who's navigating childcare issues, or you have health issues that keep you from being around large gatherings or in an office setting, you really want to weigh the pros and cons. Definitely get your resume and LinkedIn updated and put it out there and see if there's other opportunities that will allow you to feel more safe given your current situation. I think that's the biggest thing, is that everybody's life has shifted around the world. So this really was a great pause and a time for people to reflect with what's important for them. And when you go through these major changes like this, you have to look at your current circumstances and say, okay, what's aligned for me now, not only in my career, but in my life. And when you write those lists of pros and cons, it will help you to make that decision. Should I return to the office at my current employer, or is it now time for me to make a shift someplace else?
So in healthcare, we didn't see as much of that hit, right? So the hit we're seeing, we'll get to, I'm sure, is more about applicants and staffing. But I do think that we're seeing more applicants coming from different industries looking because of that very thing. So I think that it's been very important for the ability to see where those transferable skills are and to say, what environment am I looking to work in? It's important to know what industry you want to be in, what the culture of that industry is, so that you're happy when you get there.
We are as well seeing a lot of people looking to make a switch, and some roles transcend industries, right? Human resources, finance, things like that, engineering. You can work in a number of different industries, but some careers don't. For example, when I was getting out of the Marine Corps, that didn't necessarily translate well. But what I found when I was trying to make that transition is there are things in your career that might translate well. Your ability to solve problems, your ability to lead people, to set strategic direction and things like that. So I think if you're looking to change your industry, it's important to be able to translate the experiences you have to that new industry, especially if you've targeted a role. That role probably has a description. And so you can pick out of that description some of the things that in your career that you can say, here's how I've done problem solving in the past, and here's how I can do that for you here today.
During the pandemic, so many academic institutions and training programs have had to move to an online platform. So even if you're looking to change industries, there's great opportunities to learn new skills as well in a more convenient way with that online learning.
All right, those were some great highlights from NJBIA's 7th Annual Women Business Leaders Forum. We thank our producer, Vinny Civitillo, for producing all those fine segments. And we thank you for joining us on NJBIA's Money in Business. We'll see you next time.